If you want to create worksheets from YouTube videos, this tutorial shows you how to turn any video into a clean, student-ready worksheet using an AI tool. I'll take this video and build a worksheet with visuals and diagrams that you can export or print for your class. I'm using Monsha for this. It's a simple AI tool teachers use for lesson planning and creating all the resources like worksheets, quizzes, presentations, exam questions, and more. To get started, just go to monsha.ai and open the tool called Worksheet. Now this is your place to put your requirements for your worksheets. For example, I had this video here. I can use it or I can use this one. I can just copy the URL and then click on this video button, paste it here. I could also select some of the videos that I have previously used in Monsha and then click save. Now you can define how many activities you want. Let's say 10 activities, and then I want maybe diagram leveling, matching questions, MCQs, compare and contrast, or critical thinking questions, or maybe one sequencing event. Now if you don't see any activity that isn't here, you can just type in here and it will follow your prompt. And then this is for grade 3 and the language is English, and this is enough for me to actually hit generate and create the worksheet. But I have some more options here. For example, I could also upload any file or website or any text, or even I could use any other Monsha resource that I have previously created as a reference for this new worksheet. And I could also mix and match some of these sources. And then here I could also configure the resource. For example, I could define how many activities I want for each type of activities. Let's say 2 MCQ, 2 matching questions, and then I could also select the difficulty levels, but these are all optional. Now I have some more options here. I could attach this worksheet to a course or units or lessons because Monsha also allows me to plan for my long range. I could also assign standards. Let's say I have this IB curriculums and other US curriculums and UK curriculums, and I also see some curriculum from other countries that are already built in Monsha. I could also add my own curriculum if I don't see it in the directory, and then I could also adapt this worksheet to any framework like doc levels, reading levels, or Bloom's taxonomy. I could adjust the Bloom's taxonomy for this kind of worksheet. Let's say analyze and create, and then click save. And then if I hit generate, it will take some time to create the resource or worksheet for me. Now this is the output. You see the matching questions, fill in the gaps, compare and contrast, sequencing events. Now maybe you feel like there should be more, like you should have more spacing, or you could use some visuals or images. So you see this option here where you can chat with this resource and ask your requirements and prompts. For example, I have done this for you already. So I have asked add images where helpful and use proper line breaks and spacings, and it has generated a new version of the worksheet with images and spacing and all that. Now you could demand more from this output and keep chatting with it, like saying make this slightly harder and add 2 application based questions where students relate photosynthesis to real life. Or if you don't feel like writing, you could just use these quick actions to, let's say you want to simplify the difficulty or add visuals or make it more engaging. And if you click it, it will create the draft prompt for you that you can modify and then hit enter to generate more resources. Now, if we go up here, you can see some more options, like you could edit the whole response with this editor. You could also export this worksheet to any preferred format. For example, you could download as a doc or PDF. For example, this is a PDF version of the worksheet. You could also export to Google Docs or Google Forms or Google Classroom. You could also share it to your preferred learning management system like Canvas or Schoology, or quiz-taking platforms like Kahoot or Quizzes or Quizlet. For example, here I exported the worksheet to Google Forms. It has separate questions and everything. And if you click on it, you see the right answer is already assigned and answer keys are already assigned for every question. So this is helpful. Then if you go back, you could also copy the whole output. You could create more resources based on it, like maybe a quiz question or maybe a handout or a passage. You could also differentiate it, translate it at just the grade level, doc level, or reading level. For example, if you click here and select another Bloom's taxonomy level and click adapt, it would create a new version right below the output. And you could do these operations like edit, export, and differentiate on each output. For example, I just did that in the second output, but you could also do the same for the first output or initial generation as well. And on top, you could see the share button. So if you click it, it will copy the link in your clipboard that you can share with your students or your teachers so that they can see the output without having to log in. You could also see the prompt, the initial setup that you used to create the worksheet in the first place. You could do some changes here and regenerate the worksheet. You could also create more resources from the worksheet. As I said, you could create lesson plan, essay tip, and other types of worksheet or handout, or even created a rubric or vocab words or anything else that you want to create based on this worksheet. Now, another cool thing about Monsha is, like, apart from creating those learning materials, you can also create your entire course or course outline. Just typing your title, subject, number of units and lessons you want, and then hit generate, and it will create the whole course outline for you with all the units and lessons. You can then plan individual units or lessons and then drop all your resources or context in the course or units that you can reuse later for creating new types of learning materials. You can also align standards for the whole course or units, and also you can approach your daily lessons and plan every part of it, like opening activities, hooks, instructions, guided practice, materials, and then create all the resources to execute each part of your lesson plan. So Monsha this way helps you plan your next class and also plan your entire week or semester. So that's about it. I hope it was helpful, and if you have any questions, just ask it in the comments, and I would love for you to try the tool at app.monsha.ai. See you later.